Hey guys, I'm Alastair from Trail and Kale, and this is my Nike Ultrafly review. And that's these trail running shoes here. Alright then, the format of this review is firstly going to be me explaining who these running shoes are for, who they're targeted at. Then I'm going to go through the features that really stand out to me, the ones worth mentioning, and the ones worth actually explaining to you basically what they mean for you on your run. Cutting through the marketing jargon, so to speak. And then, because I am bringing you along with me for this test run, I will be sharing how they perform in various scenarios, like long, steep climbs, which is what I'm doing right now on this test route. I run about 12 kilometers or so. It features 300 meters of vertical ascent, plenty of technical terrain, both up and down, and also we've got plenty of flattish sections as well. And because this is a carbon fiber plated racing shoe, that's going to be important because that is exactly where these are going to perform best. So this route is really going to allow me to share with you guys how they perform in different scenarios over different types of terrain, which should hopefully help influence your buying decisions on whether these trail running shoes are best for you. And then after that performance review, I'm going to share whether they're worth a $260 price tag. First off, they're $260. Super expensive for a trail running shoe. Yes, they're race day shoes. They've got a carbon fiber plate, ZoomX foam, VaporWeave mesh upper. Yes, all the latest Nike tech is being thrown into these shoes. So time will tell, and by the end of this run I'll let you know if they're worth a $260 price tag. How do they fit? Well, they are true to size in length, but in width I'd say they're wide. So if you've got wide feet, you can absolutely love these shoes. If you've got average feet, then the lacing system does cinch down and hug your feet very nicely. I've got medium width feet. One thing of note though, you do feel some arch support in the shoe. So if you do have flat arches, you may feel the arch on the inside edge of your foot. But other than that, they're generally very comfortable inside and, like I said, very roomy and airy. The midsole is using ZoomX foam, which is renowned for its responsiveness and energy return. If you've watched or read any of my Nike super shoe reviews, most of them are actually using ZoomX as well, along with some air zoom units in the Ultrafly, for example. So the foam is the best of the best coming out of a Nike Labs. In the middle of that midsole is a carbon fiber fly plate. What that does is store up energy on your stride and release it, giving you forward propulsion as you move. So if you question a lot of things, you might wonder how that performs on uphills, having that extra tension and lack of immediate flex when you're climbing, and also on the downhills for that matter. Sometimes you might want extra flex to get more control on technical downhills. I'm going to tell you how they perform in all these scenarios, so don't worry about that. And then finally, the midsole is fabric wrapped. Essentially, you can probably see it glistening. It's kind of a coating, fabric coating around the midsole just to give it extra durability. Most foams, however, need durability within the foam itself, not on the outside. So I feel like that might be a gimmick, and I'm not sure how much that will help with durability over time, but that'll be interesting to see. The outsole is using Vibram's Mega Grip. Yes! Finally, Nike Trail are using Vibram's Mega Grip. It's best in class right now. You'll notice a lot of trail running brands or running brands are taking up this outsole for their trail running shoes, and for very good reason. It's damn good, best in class, excellent traction. The drop is 8.5 millimeters from heel to toe, and they weigh 10.5 ounces for a size US men's 9. That's my size. So they're not hugely lightweight, which is surprising for a race day shoe that costs $260. I'll consider letting that weight slide if the performance is exceptional. Right, first thing I'm going to talk about then is going to be how they climb. Now, to be honest, they're a little bit of a letdown in how they're climbing so far. That's for a few reasons. Firstly then, it's the heel lock. I don't know what it is. I guess it's just the design of the upper. But the heel does not get locked in the shoe that well. And that's made worse when you're climbing because of the carbon fiber fly plate. Because it's stiff, and of course it's designed to be stiff so that it can store energy when you're running fast and release that energy and propel you forward nice and fast, giving you an efficient run over long distances. But when you're climbing steep hills, you've got to fight that stiffness of the carbon fiber plate, and that in turn fights the heel lock. And because it's not a great heel lock in the first place, my heel is slipping out of the shoe a bit. Now, yes, I have done a racer's loop. I put a racer's loop on the right hand shoe and I've left it standard on the left, just so I can compare the two to see if it makes a difference. Yes, it makes a little bit of a difference. It does give me a better heel lock, but it still slips. And this tongue here, there's no mechanism for holding the tongue in place. There's no loop on the tongue which the laces go through, which holds it in place. So really it has already just fallen down here. And of course my racer's loop is now no longer sitting on the tongue, causing another issue. But it's not all bad. On inclines that aren't crazy steep, kind of like what I'm doing now, I guess it's probably about 10-15% gradient. Stuff like this, it's not so bad because you're able to run at a pace which fights that stiff carbon fiber plate. It doesn't seem to be as much of a problem. And you've got Vibrams Mega Grip on the outsole, so traction is not a problem either. And that's why I really believe these racing shoes are designed for rolling hills racing and trail racing that doesn't encounter long steep climbs. I just feel like they would be better if the heel lock was better, and then I could really push in and flex that carbon fiber plate on the climbs. So yes, I really think they're designed for flat, undulating hill races, whether that's technical or nice easy trails. That's where these are going to perform the best. And you'll notice also that laces are very bulky. Nothing hugely technical going on with those laces, and I'm sure they're adding extra weight to these shoes, so yeah, I feel like the lacing system overall needs an overhaul for the Ultrafly 2 later this year. I've now put them through plenty of flat sections and more climbing, and they perform excellently on flat. And like I said, correct, I mean, the racing shoe and carbon fiber plates make you go faster. The VaporWeave upper is very breathable as well, so my feet stay well regulated on climbs, but also high intensity, flat, fast running as well. So very good on flat sections, nothing to complain about there. And also a feature that is definitely benefiting flats in muddy sections or even kind of sandy, dusty sections where you would normally expect compression or sinking. Because they've got a very wide footprint, hopefully you can tell here, this is actually really quite wide. Because of that, you don't get that sinking. There's a lot more surface area to get traction as well. And boom, they're a good downhill performer too, with a caveat. Now you would have seen me just smiling away coming down that downhill, steep and gradual, kind of undulated down quite a lot. Now anything not too technical, they're absolutely awesome, and that is because, I'm caveating this, because of the wide footprint that I mentioned earlier. It's very good at just finding a nice spot for you to land and just coping with it. Now, the caveat being, if you've got anything a lot more technical with a high frequency of challenging terrain, rocks and all that kind of stuff, where you need to have precision footing, which is what I like in big mountain trail races, for example, then I would say they're a little bit too wide for that kind of technical precision running. These are going to be absolutely awesome for, like I said, undulating long ultra marathons, maybe up to 50 miles. Be excellent for 50 kilometers, that's for sure. But anywhere where it's undulating, not crazy steep climbs or crazy high frequency technical terrain like you might find in the European Alps, French Alps, places like that. But rolling trails, long distance ultra races with mediocre challenging terrains, these are going to be fantastic for that. The Mega Grip outsole is fantastic on a downhill as well. I already knew that. I've been running and testing lots and lots of trail running shoes with Vibrams Mega Grip, so I already know how well that performs. And although the lugs aren't hugely deep, it's hard to tell. I'd say they're about 4 millimeters deep. It is a nice aggressive chevron pattern, so it does claw into the trail on the uphills, and also on the downhills it sticks to the trails really nicely. It's time to answer that question that's on many of your minds and my mind before I started running in these shoes. Are they worth that huge $260 price tag? Well, I'm going to have to say no. They're not quite at the level of $260 shoe yet. Yes, they've got all the technology in there, from the VaporWeave upper. They've got the ZoomX foam, Vibram Mega Grip, even a fly plate, carbon fiber plate running through the midsole. It's all there, it just doesn't kind of mesh together all that well just yet. But I'm very hopeful for the Ultrafly because it seems like they're very easy fixes to me, so the next version could be a huge upgrade. And if they do fix some of the things that I've mentioned here, then we're definitely on to a winner. I do really like this shoe already, but I know it can be so much more. So I'm very excited to see what Nike brings later this summer. So do stay tuned. As soon as I get hold of that shoe, I will be putting out a review and I'll let you know how they compare to this one. That said, for the runner who does have a very specific set of conditions that I mentioned earlier, the rolling hills, long distance races or fast running races that don't have any huge steep climbs, these shoes could well be worth the money. So I definitely recommend going out and trying a pair if that does sound like you. If you run in these shoes, I'd love to get your thoughts. Tell me what you thought about them, or think about them if you're still running in them. Let me know in the comments down below. Well, it's time to wrap up this Nike Ultrafly review. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a video a like and subscribe to our channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. And by the way, our focus isn't just trail running. We also review lots and lots of road running shoes too. So definitely subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified of new videos when they drop. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.